this video tutorial, we're going to talk about setting up your advertisements, both banner and ads. So let me first orient you to these two areas. So to begin, you'll see as we visit the demo site, you'll see these rotating images here. These are what we refer to as banner advertisements. Now, if you look at other major websites like Custom Ink and Zazzle and Cafe Press, they all use this same function. So let's head over to customink.com. Now you'll notice once we visit Custom Ink, you'll see at the very top they have these rotating images. So this is an important marketing tool. This is a great way to gain attention and to drive clicks, also to promote. You might be promoting a week-long special or month-long special on a specific product, and you may want to promote that and garner attention. So Inksoft has the ability for you to manage these rotating images here that you can see at the top, and these rotate. You can control the speed at which they rotate, and we'll talk about that as we get into these tools. Some of the other features as it relates to banners is making these associated to a link. So you can see now Inksoft, buy Inksoft now. If I click this banner ad, notice how it's opening up a brand new web page, and it's going to the page at silkscreeningsupplies.com where you can actually purchase Inksoft. So we can use these banners again in a number of ways. We can gain attention. We can use these as a way to generate interest in specific promotions. We can also make these link to another page externally or internally. So you might want to say all hoodies 10% off, shop now, and that could link right to the product page where all of the hoodies are listed. Now you'll also notice here on the right hand side with this particular theme you can see how we have three small thumbnail ads that display here on the right hand side. Buy Inksoft now, follow us on Twitter, and YouTube tutorials. So notice if I make a selection of one of those, so follow us on Twitter, notice how it's going to open up a new page, and here we're going to be at the Twitter Inksoft page. So again, this is a great way for you to generate or use this space to promote interest in products or specials, or it's just a general advertisement area. Now the one thing I want to point out is some of our Inksoft license holders actually use this area and they sell advertisements to other small businesses. So if you set up a store for, say, a high school, there might be some local businesses that want to sponsor that particular web store, that spirit store. So you could offer a small business a little advertisement for $25 a month, and you could put their logo and a link right to their website. So again, a creative way to use the advertisement areas inside of Inksoft. Okay, so let's go ahead and before we move on to the back end, I want to talk about the dimensions for these two areas. So banner advertisements are 830 pixel by 275 pixel. These miniature advertisements are 85 by 85 pixel. So when you open up your graphics design software, you can go ahead and create a new document. And what we want to do is we want to size that document appropriately. So in this case, if I'm doing a banner ad, I would do 830 pixel by 275 pixel. So if I click OK, you'll notice now my background in Illustrator is a rectangle that would represent a banner advertisement. The dimensions 830 by 275. Now if I'm creating a miniature ad, I can create a new document here, and I would create this at 85 by 85 pixel. And you can see that's a perfect square, and that would represent my miniature advertisement area. So anything I design inside of this box, this rectangle for a banner ad, would output when I go to save this. So let's go ahead and close this window down. In fact, we'll create a quick little advertisement here, and I'm just going to put in the dimensions of this to remind you one more time. So 830, and that's pixel by 275, and that's again in pixels. So let's make this larger. So let's just pretend this is an advertisement promoting something, it's maybe a product special. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to save this. So I'll do is go File, and I'm going to go Save for Web and Device. If you're in Corel, you can go File, Save for Web. And what I can do now is I'm going to choose to save this as a JPEG. You'll want to save both your banners and your miniature ads as JPEGs because JPEGs are compressed and they load slower. PNG files, because they have a transparent background, tend to load slower. So you definitely want to speed the load time of your web page by using a JPEG. So I'll go ahead and save this to the desktop here. We're just going to name this Banner Ad Test. And I'll go ahead and save that. And that's an advertisement. We're done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and log into Inksoft. We'll log in as an admin. I'll select Config. Now I also want to remind you that there are many, many stock banners and ads already in Inksoft. So there's many generic, general advertisements that you can select from and have those in place. So you don't even need to do this. However, this is a great way for you to really customize your offering, or if you're setting up a web store, customize the offering in that web store. Okay, so once we log in, there's a number of areas that we can get access to these advertisements. Number one, if I'm going to introduce a new advertisement into the system, I'm going to do that from the General tab. So what I can do is go to General, I can go to Marketing, and you can see here I can click on Advertisements. So again, I'm going to use this workflow if I'm going to upload a brand new advertisement. So we'll go through that workflow first. Let's talk about uploading and managing an advertisement globally. So you can see here, here's some of the advertisements I've uploaded. Now you'll notice there's a video tutorial here, so you can watch this video again if you need additional help, or if you're navigating in any area in Inksoft. I want to point out that video tutorials are always accessible. Here I can go ahead and filter. So I can see what banner and ads are displaying in a specific web store. Or I could feature by type, banner or ad. Or I could look at status. What banners and advertisements are currently active? What's being used right now versus what's deactive? So again, I can go and see, I want to see all of the ads in Butler Bulldog. I can go one step further to even filter by, the type of ad. So you can see here again, here's an example of, Dick's Sporting Goods, $10 off because they're a sponsor of this particular web store. But let's say that there's a bunch of ads in this particular store. I could say, I just want to see the banner advertisements at Butler Bulldog. So I'm using more than one filter to see what advertisements are being displayed. In this case, there's only one. Okay, so let's head back. You'll note, well, we don't even have to go backwards. You'll notice there's a button here that says New Advertisement. This is the tool that you're going to use to upload a brand new ad or banner into Inksoft. So the very first thing you do with a new advertisement is you browse for the advertisement. So in this case, remember we saved banner ad test on the desktop, so I'm going to go and upload that. I could enable this, meaning make it active. I can tell Inksoft what type of ad this is. Again, here's the dimensions displaying. Is this a banner at 830 by 275 pixel, or is this an advertisement, 85 by 85 pixel? I can give this a name. This is just for your edification. This is a great way for you to manage how this is being used. So I'll just name this Test 2. I can give this a description. Again, I know exactly how this is being deployed in which web store and why it's relevant. I can choose where I'm going to assign this particular banner ad to, and I can go ahead and save that particular change. So what I've done is I've just uploaded an ad. We can see successfully added new advertisement. Here you would see the advertisement displaying. I can see that it's active, and we're now done. So again, global settings, if you go to marketing, advertisement, this is a way for you just to see the ads and also to upload your advertisements. So again, I can filter by, I could delete, and I can even edit a specific advertisement in this area. So notice there's a little tool and wrench icon, and there's also the ability to delete. So if I click on the tool icon, here's the ability to manage, where I'm going to display this advertisement, which stores. I could rename it, or I could delete it. So that describes the tools in that particular area. There's more relevant tools in the actual store controls. So let's say that I want to place this new advertisement in a specific store. What I could do is I could navigate to the store. So let's say I want to go back to Butler Bulldogs because we're going to add a new special. Because maybe they're preparing for homecoming and we want to add an official homecoming t-shirt. So I can navigate to that store. Now that I'm at that store, I have the ability to go to Customer Interactions and Users, and then I can select Advertisements. So Store Controls, Customer Interaction and Users, Advertisements. This is going to allow me to now control all of the advertisements at this particular store, and there's some advanced controls that you'll have as well. So once this page loads, we're going to be able to see the active advertisements for this particular store. Well, let's start on the first tab, which is Advertisement Settings. I can choose to automatically rotate these ads on the home page. I can also control the speed. So I can say I want this to rotate fast or normal or very slow. You can control those particular settings. I want to point out if you're using a custom HTML advertisement, maybe you want to put in some YouTube video or some custom HTML, you don't want those to rotate automatically, because if somebody's watching a video, it may rotate to the next slide. So you can see I currently have this set to off because in this store I have an HTML banner ad. We'll talk about that in a moment. So again, first tab, you can control the rotating of the advertisements or the banners. Next, I can click on active advertisements. This shows me the ads that display. It also shows me the banners. I happen to have some custom HTML banners. This is an advanced tool. However, we wanted to give you the control to do things like add a YouTube video or, again, custom HTML. So that's available to you. Now, in order to add custom HTML, if I select active advertisements, you'll notice there's a Create HTML banner. So if I make that selection here, I can paste in, content from YouTube, and I can format a banner to fit that particular area. So you can use the Wysiwyg Editor to control that. Now again, because this is advanced, we're going to assume that you know basic HTML editing. And we've also placed an HTML template at the support forum, along with some other graphic templates. So kind of a head start for creating this custom content here. Okay, so let's go back into this area now. I'm going to hit the back button. We're not going to save that particular change. Now you'll notice this, in the active advertisements, I have the ability to edit an advertisement or delete an advertisement. So those two tools carried over from the global settings. Now one thing I want to point out is the ability to add more advertisements. So remember, in the first function, we uploaded a new advertisement. You can see that banner ad display now. So at any time, I can go and choose to add new custom advertisements to this particular store. So I'm going to go grab these 3 advertisements, and I'm going to add selected images to store. So once I make that selection, that's going to go and take those 3 banners, and it's going to automatically add that into this Butler Bulldog store. Now if I click back on active advertisements, we're going to see those new banner ads displaying. Now one thing I want to point out, you do have the advanced controls over each of these advertisements, meaning if I want to click on customphotomugheadquarter.com, I can click on this little edit tool, and that's going to let me do some important things here. Number 1, show link options. So at the very top, you'll see the ability to click on show link options. Here I can enable a link. Remember, I showed you earlier that you have the ability to effectively make a banner ad or even a thumbnail ad link to a different website, web page, internally or externally. So what I'm going to do, because we're taking the Photo Mug Headquarter advertisement, maybe we're trying to cross promote. Maybe I want to drive interest in photo mug decoration to my other website. So this is a marketing technique called cross promotion. So I'm going to take the URL for Custom Photo Mug Headquarter, and I'm going to copy that to my clipboard. I'm going to come back to Edit Banner Ad, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable the link, and what I want to do is I want this to link externally. So I'm going to go ahead and click on link and paste in that link. Now you also have the ability to make this an internal link. What an external link will do is it's going to open up that web page in a new browser session or a new browser window. So let's go back to our home page here and show you the difference between these two. So at the main home page here, let's navigate back to Buy Inksoft Now. If I click that, notice how it opens up a brand new browser window at that new website. And the value of this is to keep you on the same, or keep access to the same home page. So the rule of thumb is anytime you're going to link outside of your Inksoft powered web business, you want that to be an external link. Anytime you want it to link internally, and here's another example of an internal link, get a quick quote now. If I click on that, that links right to the quoting function in Inksoft. It's still in the same page. I don't want to open up a new browser window. So you need to make the decision, do I want this to open in a new window or do I want it to remain in the existing window? Make that decision here by selecting link and choosing internal, or by default it will be set to external. In this case I want it external. Now I can also make this banner keyword searchable. So I have the ability to add some search text into this. So if I want to make this come up in keyword searches like photo mugs, mugs, coffee cups, cups, gifts, I could make this banner ad searchable as a keyword search. So pretty important. Now you can also associate an advertisement with a discount promotion. So I can go ahead and associate this with a discount promotion. I could choose the discount or the promotion that I've saved, and this will allow this to be searchable with a promotional code. Now I can also enable this particular ad so it's live. I can control the sort order. Maybe I want this to display first. The very first advertisement I want somebody to be greeted with would be this one. I can also control the start date, so I want this to start to display on the 1st of May, and I want it to expire. Automatically I want it to turn off at the end of the month. Now in the Wysiwyg Editor, this is your ability to add text on top of the banner ad. Great controls, because text, as you've learned, is really important for search engines. So you want to put in some text content on top of an ad. This is also a great way for you to leverage some of the existing or the pre-designed advertisements that are in the system. You might choose a generic design, and you might add custom content on top of it, and you might format that content. You might choose to put in custom t-shirts for soccer. Maybe that's your search phrase. What I could do is maybe I want that to display on the very left of the banner. So I'm going to use these alignment tools to do that. I'm also going to choose to make this header 1. As you've learned, that's important for search engine optimization. Display this in bold. I want this to be in this specific font, and I want to ratchet up the size. I want to make this 24 point, and I also want to make it red. So I'm going to add this on top of this banner that we've already designed. You can see the preview of it here, and you can see that that doesn't really look proper just because of the graphic of this banner. But if I had graphic elements on the left-hand side and it was sort of blank on the right-hand side, this would be formatted perfectly. I'll go ahead and save that just for sake of example. So I'm going to click Submit Changes. So what we've done is we've made this banner linkable to an external web page. We've added custom content. We've controlled the sort order. So now that I'm done with that, you can see the results display here. Now what I'm always going to do is come back to the home page to test, just to see that those results have in fact become active. So you can see the very first banner that displays is the one that we chose to be first, which is custom photo mugs. These aren't automatically rotating because of the custom HTML advertisement, which is here. Here's a YouTube video that's displaying right inside of this banner ad. So you can see that they're not automatically rotating. They have to be clicked through. You can see there's custom text with keywords on top of this banner ad. And if I click this banner ad, you'll notice that that goes to an external website because we made it link to an external website. Now that describes all the function for banner ads. Again, you'll find some free templates if you make your way over to the support forum, where you can go down to the very bottom under free stuff, and we've provided a bunch of templates for you in terms of marketing and advertisement. So definitely take advantage of some of these advertisements. And also, the same function that we just walked through with making an advertisement linkable, searchable, the same is true of these miniature advertisements that can display here on the right-hand side of a web store. Now, if you have any questions, make sure to reach out to our support team. And definitely make sure to take advantage of this, this marketing resource. This is a great way, again, to cross-promote, to promote products, sales, special opportunities, to garner attention. And again, if you visit Custom Ink, Zazzle, and Cafe Press, all three of those companies use these rotating ads to, again, achieve all those marketing objectives that we just outlined.